This is the Tough Stuff Fitness assembly guide for the CALGYM Power Rack fully loaded. This assembly guide will start with the plate loaded conversion. For the first step, we will be attaching the upright weight holders. Begin by loosening the screws on the upright assemblies. When assembling the upright weight holders, tighten screws to 75% on both sides before continuing. For the next step, attach the weight horns to both sides of the weight holders at the back of the unit. For this step, assemble the low pulley bracket into the bottom cross brace. You can fully tighten the screws for this step. Once the bracket is attached, you may attach two 3.5 pulleys into the system. For the next step, we will assemble the guide rods into the bottom cross brace. Fixed onto the guide rods, we will have the rubber washer, the rubber donut, and the weight carriage system. For the next step, we will remove the pull-up bar from the base unit, and then we will replace it with the top cross brace. When attaching the top cross brace, tighten screws to 75%. For the next step, we will affix the high-low pulley attachment system to the top cross brace. It is recommended to tighten screws to 75% until the end of this step, then go through and tighten all screws. For the next step, we will begin feeding the cable through the system. Be sure to clean off the cable with a silicone rag before beginning. It is also important to make sure that the cable is flowing through all appropriate pulleys securely. Repeat this process for the lower lat cable, beginning at the bottom end of the system. For the next step, we will assemble the loader bar. After this step, go through and tighten all screws that we had left untightened from previous steps to 100%. This would also be a good time to go through and make sure there's no excess slack on the cables, as well as greasing the guide rods and doing a few practice repetitions to make sure that the system is running smoothly. Once secured, we may now begin assembling the multi-grip handles and landmine attachment to the system. Next, we will fix the Olympic bar holder attachment onto the bottom cross brace. For these steps, you are allowed to tighten the screws to 100%. For the next step, we will fix the dip attachment and J-hooks onto the front uprights. For the next step, insert the band peg attachments on both sides of the unit. With this step completed, your assembly of the plate loaded conversion for the CALGYM Power Rack Fully Loaded would be complete. We will now move on to the Selectorized version. To start the Selectorized version, insert the pulley bracket into the bottom cross brace, then attach the pulleys to the bracket. Next, we will assemble the guide rods into the bottom cross brace. Fixed onto the guide rods, we will have the washer, rubber donuts, and the weight stacks themselves. You may loosen the high-low pulley attachment from the top cross brace to fix the guide rods into the high-low pulley attachment. Once complete, retighten the screws on the cross brace. For the next step, we will begin feeding the cable through the system. Be sure to clean off the cable with a silicone rag before beginning. Repeat these steps for the lower lat cable. For the last step, insert the dip bar attachment to the unit. With all of these steps complete, your CALGYM Power Rack Fully Loaded assembly is complete.